Hey, yo. It is your girl, Kelly J, and I am back. Do apologize for the technical difficulties. Here in Texas, we're having some really bad weather, y'all. So, without further ado, I do want to welcome y'all to another episode of Kelly J TV. You guys may see a lot of glitches today once again. I do apologize. I don't control Texas weather. However, we're going to have a great time and we're going to enjoy it while we can, okay? At least till the power go out, and then, hey, who knows? Me and Clever the Great may take it to Instagram. So, you guys, it is what it is. But without further ado, you guys, I am truly honored today. I met this young man on Clubhouse, and yeah, I slid into his DMs and was like, hey, I need you on Kelly J TV, honey. I got to know more about you, his talk, the way he talked to you, things like that. And then in conversation, we happen to talk about mental health. And y'all, he's here to share his journey with us, as well as tell us everything that he's doing in his community, as well as his businesses and more. So, without further ado, you guys, it is my pleasure and my honor to be able to welcome Mr. Desmond, Clever the Great Lester. How
What
are
up,
you?
dude?
Hi.
Hey, Kelly J, man, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for reaching out, and I'm excited. I know we got a lot to talk about, so I'm ready to get into it.
All right, well, let's jump right into it. Well, without further ado, why don't you go ahead, tell my people about you, where you're from, just your background, how you got started, and more.
All right, well, to start it off, I always rep where I'm from. I'm Desmond, Clever the Great. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm just a normal kid from the city, a normal creative, big dreamer, just here to do amazing things. I fell in love with this thing we call entertainment, and I've been fortunate enough to work in entertainment, film, starting off in radio, met a lot of different people, and I'm just out here chasing my dreams. I ain't where I want to be, but I am on the way. I'm steady working, work in progress, and we getting there.
Hey, that's the you said a mouthful just there. A work in steady progress. Gosh, that was a tongue twister. Well, look, thank you for repping Detroit. I'm pretty sure Detroit is very proud of you and all of your accomplishments that you have done so far. So, and you see, I said so far because I mean you have more to go.
There you
And your
go.
girl,
I'm claiming.
look, your girl Kelly J gonna be right there with you. You hear
Yeah.
me? Well, let me ask you this because it has been on my mind since I met you. Why do you call yourself Clever the Great? Where does that come from?
Well, Clever the Great. Well, it started off. My first name is Desmond, and I work for a
Mhm.
radio station called WJLB FM 98. WJLB. It's an iHeart station in Detroit, and it was another guy. Shout out to DJ DDT. Like his name was also Desmond, so they confused us. They was calling me Young Des, young, and I'm like, it was Young Jeezy, Young Jock during that time, and I was like.
Mhm.
Young Dez, I'm like, man, I want to do something different. And I've always looked at things differently than other people. So just
Mhm.
not better, just different. So I went from
Mhm.
Young Dez to Kid Clever because I always look younger than what I actually am. So from that, I just got older and just got tired of people saying, "Hey kid, hey kid, hey kid." So I'm just like, man, like let's be intentional with our words. Like I believe I'm great. So Clever the Great. That's how Clever the Great came about.
Okay. Now look, you talking about your age, like you just so old. You can't be no more than what, 23, 25?
Man, I'm blessed. July 23rd this year, I'll be 35 years young.
That is a blessing. That is truly a blessing. Happy early birthday. I'll
Thank
definitely send you a birthday song. Everybody gets one birthday song a year. So
you.
I'll
Okay.
definitely make sure July 23rd.
July 23rd. I'll be ready with the bankhead bounce. I'll be ready when it's time.
That's fine. You'll feel it deep in your heart, and then you can hit the,
you
you
know,
know,
the
and
T-bounce got
then,
to hit the chase the
yeah,
waterfall. I'm showing my age now.
it's okay. I actually knew the whole routine, so it's all right.
We in there then. As long as you with me, that's
Exactly.
all that matters.
Hey, that's it. So let me ask you, why don't you go ahead, share your journey with us? Um, Let us know just about your journey within mental health.
Well, my journey within mental health is just like, okay, not to sound cliche or anything like that. Like, I'm the oldest of three children, single mother, grandparents, and grandparents as well, helped raise me. And so it's just like with being the oldest, like I think it's always something with confidence and like finding out who you are or whatever, that reassurance. Because it was just me. I think I could do it. I think I could do it. So it was a lot of stuff that I may have been like, a little bit late to the party with, like jumping out there and getting stuff done or having the courage to do it. And I've been developing and realizing, exactly who I am and what I was capable of. But through that, I'm like, man, like I'm great at doing this. I'm good at doing that. Why everything is not taking off for me? So with that, comes depression. So a lot of times I'm somebody that has to be moving all the time. I have to be getting something done. If I'm stagnant or if it goes 2 days, 3 days, like, and I'm in the house not doing anything, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm a failure. So it's just like I have to learn to, one, relax, and then two, realize that everything is not on my timing. And that's one thing I've learned on. But I've dealt with depression with that, like, and it's a constant journey because it's just knowing my capability or where I currently am and where I see myself at. Not that I'm anywhere bad right now, but it's just like my vision and my ideas for where I see myself is so far vast to where I am now.
Okay, okay. So I heard you speak on you sitting in the house and how depression hit. So during the pandemic, that really did hit for you.
Yeah, it
So
really did. Go
how
ahead.
did you manage it at that time?
It was difficult at first, but then I realized, like, I'm somebody that, like I said, I always have to work. But what the pandemic taught me, that I need to relax more. Like I need to relax, and it was like I started studying astrology, getting closer to God, meditating as well, and I realized that it's already written. What's going to happen is already going to happen. So only thing you can do
Hmm.
is do in your heart what you feel is best, but don't worry about it because at the end of the day, we don't control what happens. So I had to,
Right.
to realize that, to really just slow down, work on myself, get myself better, study, learn the things that I want to learn, and it's really helped me. Started working out more, drinking more water, just doing all type of stuff to make sure I was good. So yeah, I even
Okay. Well, that's great.
Yeah, no, I was saying
Go ahead.
I even did something for the first time. I was talking to my barber, and it's always a stigma, like for self care as males. Like it's only so much you can do. It's like, man, why you doing that? Like people look at you crazy for loving on yourself. Like you really do need to love on yourself. And I was telling my barber, shout out to Leon. I'm like, man, I look drained because I wasn't getting enough rest at first. The pandemic had me up and down, and I was had weird sleep schedules, waking up at we're going to sleep at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and getting back up. I think it turned a lot of us around. And I'm like, I look drained. My eyes look drained. He was like, bro, you might need a facial, dog. I said, what? I No, like males don't do that. He was like, yes, you need to do that. You need to take care of yourself. And I did that, and it was a great experience. And I was like, I recommend all the dudes out there, hey, bro, forget all that macho stuff. Take care of yourself. Love on yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself.
And I think with men, they do tend to forget about self care as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I know. Like when I'm looking at the hashtags of self care, self love, you see, it's all a lot of women what their steps are doing and what they're doing, and I don't think men really understand that. Hey, going to go get your nails done, if that just means you're getting, a little mani pedi, and they're just cleaning your nail bed. Nothing is wrong with that. That doesn't make you less of a man. It didn't, and I think that's where the stigmatism of everything comes into place. A man going into a nail shop, oh, he must automatically be gay. No, he's a man that likes to keep himself up and
Mm-hmm.
wants to look good for himself. I'm not even gonna say for someone else, for himself. So if that's him just going getting his nails done, if you go get your haircut, that's a self care aspect. So from a
Mm-hmm.
man's standpoint, how do you as how do we begin to get men to understand the self care of it all? Because even in mental health, men I feel as though our men don't take care of themselves. I feel as though in life, men have been told you have to be strong. You can't cry. You can't say this. And so now where we're at this time and age, we have so many women saying men ain't this, men ain't that, and he don't know how to communicate or he can't express himself. But if we as a society have only beat them into being strong and being a man, then when it comes to the self-care part of it, where you actually do take the time out and say, let me get myself together, how do we begin to change that with one another to allow men to first off express themselves, be able to do stuff that women do on a regular basis for themselves? How do we get that? How do we get that going?
That's a great question. I think a start to it. I don't know the final answer, but like being bold enough to be able to talk about it. Like before, it was just like a lot of people. Oh no, I ain't gonna talk about that. I did that. I went and got my fingernails done, or I did got this done. But we have to talk about it. And another thing is like we got to unlearn behaviors of things that we were programmed before. Like we were programmed to be macho, this and that. It's like at the end of the day, bro, you are a human being. And it's like you have emotions. Some gonna happen that's gonna hurt your feelings as a man. Yeah, that's normal. You're not sensitive because that you're just human. So it's like realizing that you are a human being. You're not just this tough, super tough dude 24/7 or whatever. You have emotions just like everybody else. But one, like I said, letting people know how you feeling, where you at with it, being bold enough to know that you're not perfect or you don't have to fit into whatever stigma. So just unlearn that behavior. I think that's a vital step in order to get us to the next one level. And I feel like women, it'll be dope to get y'all support on that as well. That's needed to let us know that we can be vulnerable in situations.
Oh, look, I got chills just hearing you say that. For me, I've never heard a man say, allow us men to be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, men who I kick it with on a regular basis, my brothers, I've seen them maybe cry maybe once. That's it. And
Mm-hmm.
it's sad that to say that I've seen someone who I've loved for years never shed a tear, but it's the macho of it all is what we have programmed them.
Mm-hmm.
So it that really did give me chills just a little to hear you say, hey, can I be vulnerable with you? Can I tell you, hey, my feelings are a little hurt right now? Like,
Yeah.
you know. So yes, let's jump into these comments real quick because they are coming in for you.
They're coming in.
So let's yes, they are. So we have, what strategy do you use to control your mental illness? So, what are some strategies you would use?
Alone time. That's one thing I realized that I'm a person. I know I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, like alone time and doing stuff that I can. Like I know, as crazy as it is, long showers, taking a shower, water, like really helps me. Like, or if it's going for a ride in the car, or going to the river, the Detroit River, going down there when the weather allows, because it is a little chilly right now. But when the weather allows, and just doing that. I'm working on meditating. Like it's difficult for me to do that. Just sitting down meditating because my brain is always firing on all cylinders. It's hard to shut it off. But yeah, just slowing down and putting my phone down for a minute. A lot of us don't realize that's a big help to just put your phone down, get off Instagram. Don't worry about calls. So you getting text right now. See, you're not worrying about those things.
Exactly. Like, y'all know I'm not.
As soon as you wake up,
Y'all
that's
know
the
I'm
first
not.
thing we doing. It's just like, man, like we checking our phones and stuff. Like, whoa, let me brush my teeth before I check this text message
Mhm,
right here. So just stuff like that. That's
mhm.
really helped me a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I actually had someone, they helped me to start doing that. So now when I get up in the morning, I actually don't grab my phone. That used to be the first thing I would do. Wake up, stretch, reach over, grab the phone off the charger, and start scrolling. Whether that meant I was looking at my emails or I was checking social media. Now what I do is when I get up in the morning, I actually don't look at my phone.
Mm,
I get up, have a little me time to myself. There's this channel on YouTube, and it's a motivational video, and the guy, he's just like, F it. Like the whole time, that's all he's saying is F it. And you have to sit there and you listen and you meditate and you're breathing. It's only like a 2-minute video, but the
Mm.
whole time you're sitting there, you're just like, F it. And I didn't realize being able to say it like that, and you actually say the words, like I will actually cite the word, but when you say it, it's a release. And I have found a lot of release for myself with doing that little motivation every morning, because I feel as though if I can say F it,
Mm-hmm.
anything throughout the day that bothers me, that isn't motivational or inspiring or impactful to help me grow, F it.
Effort.
Why am I stressing over? Why am I worried about it? Just F it.
Yeah, because that's a valid
Just
point.
F
That's a valid point that you mentioned, because it's just like we have to reset. Like we treat our phones better than we do ourselves. Our phone about to die. We,
it.
oh my God, let me go. I gotta go charge my phone right now. Or it's like, let me reset my phone. But we
We
don't
will
do that.
literally leave the house.
We won't leave from the house if our phone is messed up. But we gotta reset ourselves as well. It's like, man, we need to, like you said, just say F it, take time to ourselves, because that goes to your day and to your week and how you interact with other people as well. Like if you're not right with
Mhm,
yourself, like how am I gonna be right to you, to a friend, to my loved one, my mom, or people I care about? So it goes
mhm.
into other relationships with that.
It does, and it does start to trickle down when you don't take care of yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. We're gonna take some more stuff from our viewers. So we have Miss Jendia. She says men are carrying the weight of the world. That they're now wait, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on.
Are you good?
That they're now hunted in, and yet they still have no outlet. Oh, if that ain't the truth. So let me ask you this: with everything that's going on right now in the world, how does that comment resonate with you? How do you feel with what's going on with the world and you being a black man in today's society?
It's scary. Like it's definitely scary, because it's like you can I can literally know that I can leave the house and do everything right, not do anything wrong, and not come home, not from dealing with somebody on the streets, from police, from any situation. Like I'm looked at as a terrorist in the country that I was born in. Like that's scary. So only thing, I just try to be precautious with my actions, think about it, and don't try not to do things that make me a sore thumb or make me a target. And just like when I go in stores, take my hood off. Don't have my hands in
Mhm,
my pocket in stores and stuff. Like I shouldn't have to do that, but I'm programmed and been trained since I was 4 to make sure my hands are visible, make sure I speak, make sure I'm not rambunctious, make sure I look decent, because I don't want no issues. I'm just trying to make it home to my family.
mhm.
So yeah.
Hey, that's I think that's the scariest is not knowing when you leave your own house if you'll even make it back because the color of your skin or
Mm-hmm.
because of you being a black male or or even a black woman. Like the other night, of course, with it being Mother's Day, police are hot everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I I've never been to jail. But for a police officer to be speeding up behind me with his lights on, that scared me. I shouldn't be scared of police lights flying past me. And I think it's to the point now where how do we take this fear away? Is this a fear that we are allowed to take away? Do we change it? And if we start to change it, will the world actually grasp that change and actually begin to change with the way everything else is changing? Or do we have to continue to be fearful of our own lives and wondering? And I think when it comes to what's going on with society and we put it into mental health form, our men, whether our black men want to admit it or not, like I thank you for coming on and saying it is hard and it is something that you have to endure on an everyday basis. But that also does affect your mental. In
Mm-hmm.
my eyes, I would feel as though for someone who has, like when I think of the Park Central Five, when I think of them, well, the exonerated five, let me correct it, the exonerated five. When I think of them, I think of every time that they step outside or a police officer walk by, that fear alone, that's
Mm-hmm.
PTSD in itself. So I can only imagine for someone, not even them who haven't even gone through what they went through, but someone who's just been in jail before or
Yeah.
had a run-in with the police before, the mental state that you guys have to go through, that for me, I my heart goes out all the time. And it's how do we just get it to change? It's like, how do we start? And I guess this is how we start. We get Mr. Clever on with Kelly J, and we start talking about it, huh?
Yeah, I think another approach I think is super dope. I don't feel like, of course, police officers should have to do extra classes and really know if they're equipped for the job, because it's not an easy job at all. It's just like everybody doesn't have intellect or sense like we do, and they don't know if that part is too quick of a situation to decide, like, is this person going to try to kill me or is this going to work. But I think the number one thing
Mhm.
we need to do is, like, you should not be allowed to police communities that you don't know anything about. Like, you should either have to live in that community for a certain amount of time, or and just know who people are. At the end of the day, we all are people, and 99.9% of us all just want to get home at the end of the day. So we really have
Yeah.
to like, if we create that relationship. Like, that's one thing I'm big about doing. Like, on the east side of Detroit, it's called the Red Zone. They have a group called Ceasefire, and what Ceasefire is, they're police officers, but they're in the community with the youth, and they come as men. They don't come as police officers. We come as men, and we build relationships with people. And it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
if we have a relationships with people, if I can call you by your name and see you out and about, it's different than me just being an officer talking about freeze or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. If I can say, Anthony, why you over there tripping, man? Like, why you over there clowning, whatever? You know better than I know you, and you know better than that. And I got to be like,
Mm-hmm.
you're right, because it's a
Mm-hmm.
relationship there. So if we start building that relationship with the community, instead of you being a dictator and just me being a civilian just trying to make it home, that'll help a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like, and save a lot of lives.
Yeah, because it'll make them become, what is it, holding accountability, and then you have to become personable at that point, because now it's not just someone you see out in the street. This is someone you've seen grow up, or you've seen
Mm-hmm.
them around the block. You know how they act, you know how their attitude is. You've taken the time out to really know them, and when you know them, then you can actually dig deeper in figuring out, okay, this is a situation you're in now, how can I be that impactful one to change that and make a turnaround? If you're going in the wrong direction, how can I be that mentor and change that for you? So we're actually going to get on your mentor program here in a second, but we still going to take some more questions, because Jesus, you got really, listen, my comments are blowing up with for you today.
Oh, come on
Like,
with it.
honestly,
Come on with it.
it is just Jesus. I like y'all came with the comments today. So listen, we have another one. It says, what do you do as a man? Say the young man looking for a safe place to be vulnerable.
Oh,
So when
that's
it comes to being vulnerable, what is the safe place?
like I said, like, and it's difficult, like, because it's just like, one, you want to meet the younger males where they are, and you don't want to come off corny, like, hey, brother, if there's anything you want to talk about, talk to me. But I think my approach is a little bit different. That may work, but my approach is a little different. It's more so just building with them, like kicking it. Like, I take a lot of use to, like, a lot of basketball games, getting on one, and just peeling the layer slowly but surely. And through peeling the layer,
Mm-hmm.
and they know that they building that trust factor. Trust is a big thing. Like, with anything, if I feel like I can trust you, and I'm a lot more easier for me to open up, like, with anybody. If I feel like it's a trust there and there's no judgment there, so I do that, and then from there they start opening up. And once they open that door, I ask them questions or whatever. Like, okay, yeah, man, I understand. How have you been, or what are you working on? Do you need any help with that? Like, I'm always here. I let them know that, but just do it in a way that don't seem like I'm prying or that I'm cheesy out here. Just meet them where they are.
I like meet them halfway.
Yeah, got to.
That's the best thing is meet 'em. All right, so we have Annie Onesies talking walks is talk taking walks is a very good way to maintain positive mental health. Yes, it is. I do it every night faithfully.
Hmm.
Every night
Yeah.
faithfully, with no, and I do. I just walk around. It's like a little circle by my apartment, and I just walk it. I probably do it probably about 4 or 5 times, but It does help. Let's see. We have had nightmares with the police that you can't take it away. The police, you can't take it away. No. And having nightmares is definitely
Mm-hmm.
horrible. Is definitely, we have Miss Jandia saying we have suicidal. I mean, I'm sorry, suicidal. God forgive me. So we have what is it? Society PTSD. Gosh, y'all forgive me for that. I said suicidal. Jesus. Let's see. We have Mr. Desmond. Does your mental health cause you to be a overthinker?
Mm. Yes, I think naturally I'm an overthinker. Like just naturally, I'm always thinking. And what I had to
Mm,
realize is that I had to be honest with myself. Like overthinking, all overthinking is a form of insecurity. Because when we think about it, at the most extreme layer is insecurity. It's just like overthinking, like, oh, should I do this, or what will people think? With that is where we want to be perfect. We want to be perfect in a lot of
mm,
situations, so that way we don't have to deal with criticism, being judged, and whatever. But I had to just realize that I'm not perfect. Like I'm not perfect at all. I don't have
mm,
everything figured out, and I think that's what
mm,
people respect most about people is that we're not perfect. We make mistakes. We're still growing, or whatever. Because everybody can relate to that. Like I can't
mm,
relate to, like I might get slack for saying this. Like Barack Obama was a lot more relatable to me than Martin Luther King was. Why? Because Barack was a little able to be a little bit more looser due to the times and what he was going through. He was able to show personality,
mm,
show who he was. He was like, "Yeah, I smoked cigarettes. I did this." Martin Luther King smoked cigarettes, but could not let it be known to the masses that he smoked cigarettes because he had to be on this high standard. So it's just like, wow, this dude play
mm,
basketball like me. He's, he cool. He dance. He has a personality. That's relatable. Like that, you don't
mm.
have to be perfect, and the world can appreciate that.
Definitely, listen, definitely. I think that's one thing I did state as I got myself into the world of entertainment and stuff. I definitely want to stay being me and whatever that entails. And I just want people to love me for me.
That's it.
And that's just that.
He not through with
Let's
me
see. Hey, he not
yet.
until he say so. Tell them till that dirt hit that casket. He ain't
Hey,
done.
tell him don't say so no time soon. Hopefully, please, please not. I want to be here for a minute.
I do. I wouldn't mind making it to 100 and something just to see what the world is like at that age. 100. Like when I see people who are of that age and they made it, I think about all the things that they have seen throughout the years and the way life has changed. And like I remember going down home and I'm seeing dirt roads, and now there's no dirt roads. It's a regular road now. So definitely something different to
So now
see.
you can say, back in my day, this road was dirt. Now it's concrete.
Back in my day, we used to come down here and walk. This wasn't no road. This was dirt.
Right.
Be
Y'all
like
got
Big
text
Mama.
messages. We didn't have
Let's
that back in my day. So yeah, it's interesting. My grandmother
it
just
is.
turned my grandmother just turned 90 this past August. And I love like just having
Mm,
conversations with her, just seeing how the world has changed and different stuff. It's always mind blowing to just see where she came from and just hearing stories about our family and just kicking it with her. So it's a blessing to have her. She gives me so much wisdom on a day to day basis.
speaking of, you guys were on the news with your granny because y'all did a big old parade, right? Is-
Hmm.
That's the granny we talking about?
Yep, yep.
Yes. For her age, she looked young. She looked real good.
That's
Real
that's
good.
my
And I know she
that's my
got
girl.
stories for days.
Yeah, she
She
does.
had
Her
some good stories.
her memory's better than mine. She still cooks. She still get out there barbecue, do the greens. She cooked dinner this past Mother's Day. So that's my dog. We watch Power together. Granny lit. We lit.
Hey, hey,
Snowfall,
Granny.
everything.
When I come visit Detroit, I'm gonna come pull up so I can have some of your cooking
Okay,
and hang out
Tennessee.
and get some good stories.
So she
And
from the
get some
South.
good
So
stories.
Tennessee cooking. So Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. So we got sensitive, sensitive to training and cultural training. I'm all for that, King. Yes. They have to be familiar with our cultural norms that may be different from what they're used to. Speaking on police, yes,
Yeah.
they do. Um, Great mental health gives you self awareness and mindfulness. That is so true. That is definitely true. My heart hurts hearing of the fear. How can I help be a part of the change and easing that fear? Wow.
Mm,
Candy, you already done started.
mm-hmm.
Candy is a Facebook friend of mine. She is not of our background, as far as our race, she's Caucasian.
Okay.
And that just you being you, Candy, honestly. When you see something, if you address it, if you hear something, address it. That's
Mm-hmm.
how people of other races can start to help ease that fear. If you see something, don't be afraid to say something. Cause
Yeah.
heck, we afraid every day.
Yeah, and I think it's like you said, like just seeing stuff from more than just your perspective. Like, well, it's the whole it's 360 degrees, and like you can't just deal with this 180. Like you have to ask people and just be aware of whatever. I think if people we just were aware and asking questions like she is out of love, everybody just loved
Mhm.
on each other a little bit better, more, then we'd be a lot better.
Yeah, because that's all it takes is just being love. Something that's free. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you. All it costs you is you being you. When you're your best person and you love genuinely and wholeheartedly,
Mm-hmm.
everything else falls into place. It really does.
Yeah.
So let's see. Clever the Great must be a Leo or a Virgo. I'm gonna go with a Leo because you
I
said
am a
July 23rd and I'm August 2nd.
Okay, Leo gang. Leo gang is in.
Hey, Leo, Leo.
Yeah, yeah. I am a Leo, but I got a lot of Virgo on my chart though. So
Oh,
definitely
okay.
for the birth chart people, people in the astrology. Shout out to my brother
Mhm.
Tony Power. He been texting me. He watching. He's a fellow Virgo. He's a
Oh,
Virgo.
shout out to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I
Yeah.
will see. Yeah, I'm Leo through and through. My chart actually states Leo from start to finish. I was really shocked. And people, I started doing the whole astrology just to
Mm-hmm.
kind of learn about it. And I did my natal chart, and it was like, oh, you're a Leo. I don't, it's no one else. It's just Leo.
You know
Just Leo.
what your rising sign is?
I didn't find one. Like I add like we did it, and then I went online and tried it. It just says Leo. I have nothing else. Maybe we can talk about that and we can figure that out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
'Cause
I'll
I would
definitely hook
love
you
to
together.
know.
I'll
I
get
would
you.
love to know. That would probably explain the other side of things. Because as
Mm-hmm.
like I said, all I've ever known is Leo from start to finish. And it's due to my time of being
Mm-hmm.
born. So I'm already fixed. And then it's just all the way Leo, Leo, Leo. But without further ado, you were talking on your mentor program, so I do want to talk about that, which is Vision for Change. Am I right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah.
So tell us all about Vision for Change.
All right. So I've always had a special place in my heart for help figuring stuff out. Like, cause like I said, I'm the oldest of three kids, so everything that I had to learn how to do, like I had to learn a lot on my own. We got a small family, so I didn't grow up with a whole bunch of cousins. So I'm like,
Mm,
damn, if I had somebody to help me figure some things out, I would learn it a lot faster. The example I use, my younger brother, who Joe is 13 years younger than me. But I grew up playing video games, and the same video games that would take me weeks and weeks to beat, he'll beat the video game in 2 days. I'm saying, how the hell are you doing that? What he does is he goes on YouTube and he watches people play the video games, and they tell you when you go around this corner, watch out, it's going to be somebody. So go over to the left or whatever, and they tell you exactly how to beat the video game. I was looking at it like, no, that's cheating. But well,
mm,
he beat the same game that I beat. So I figured that with mentors, it's just like if I went through something, somebody younger than me shouldn't have to go through that same exact thing. So with that, I've always had a special place in my heart for it. And in 2008, 19, I started Vision for Change. It's a mentoring group where we mentor kids ages 13 through 21. And our focus is to help them find out, what they're passionate about and what their life skills is, and introduce them to mentors and help them get paid off of their purpose. So that's where we at with it so far with
Well,
Vision.
I definitely want to support any way I can, want to be a part any way I can. I know I'm all the way in Texas, but if you happen to ever have a kid out here in Texas, or if someone wouldn't mind being virtually, I do not mind giving that support and sharing my knowledge. I
Okay.
think it's great what you're doing because, like you said, we do have for my generation, my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and what they taught me, so that I don't have to make same mistakes at this age, is the same thing I want to be able to push forward with my nieces and nephews and whoever else I come into contact with. I think that's where we start to talk about it takes a village to
It
raise
definitely
kids.
does.
And I think when you have a mentor program, that's exactly what it is. It's a village of people coming together for the better good to make sure our youth don't continue down the same path that they're going, like
Mhm.
some of them are going now.
Yes, definitely. It's real important because like all of these kids just no, I don't think anyone really wants to just be bad or just have a messed up life. Like I feel like we make decisions based on the opportunities that we know that we have. So it's all about exposing the youth to more opportunities and more situations. It's less likely you'll make a bad decision if you knew of other opportunities that you could make. So it's just like I don't think nobody wants to be in prison. Like for real. Like no, like you hear people come home from prison like you don't want to be here or you don't want to go down that path. So yeah, just exposing them to stuff. Another thing we do with Vision for Change is we do a school tour, and what our school
Mhm.
tour is a career day on steroids. So what I do is I get people like yourself that's in media. I get people that's working in photography, videography, people that are have their own modeling agency companies, PR people, people from all different type of careers that look like them, and we come in
Mhm.
there and we give the real to them. Some of us didn't graduate from college, some of us didn't
Mhm.
attend college, some of us it did work, and we tell them the truth. Like even though you graduate from college, and we like, yeah, this shit is still going to be hard and it's not perfect for anybody, and allow them to get mentors and all that. I was talking about that on a clubhouse. My guy Marcus Bowers,
Mhm.
shout out to him with She's Happy Here. He came from
Yes.
he came from Houston to Detroit to speak with the kids, and that was amazing. He flew out and to talk to them, and like it, I know I wasn't able to talk to a millionaire when I was in high school. Like
Mhm.
just for them to have those opportunities and to get mentorships with that, I'm like it's very vital.
Mhm.
So that's what we're big on. Just taking that. My plan is once the world open back up to do more schools. Like I want to do. My goal is to do 20 high schools throughout the inner city, and just once
Okay.
a week, and just go there and just spread the little bit of knowledge that I have, and hopefully that take them to the next level.
Well, I'm definitely going to be rooting for you and for everything that you're doing because one thing I know with today's kids, they are a work. And I think with any mentor in itself, when you decide to become a mentor, number one, you got to have patience all the
Mm-hmm.
way around because you're going to have people, everybody has their own personality. And it does take a lot to be a mentor. It takes a lot to take that time out for that child or for that adult that you're mentoring and just say, hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm willing to listen. And most times that's what kids need nowadays. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of kids during the pandemic, it was heart wrenching to see that the domestic violence and the kid rates were going up in abuse when it shouldn't have been that. I get it. We all have it rough. It gets hard. But when we get to abusing kids, listen, if y'all watching and y'all just tired of y'all kids, call me. I come pick them up. Now, what'll happen once I come pick them up is out of my control. But if they come back with a whooping from me, just know they probably deserved it. I do
Mm-hmm.
not condone whooping. I put in timeout. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll time out.
and and I understand that like we can't save everybody, but all my goal is just to show that I care and just reach out and touch as many as I can. And if I can save some along the way, if I help one kid from going down the path that I feel like I won from that situation, but just want to just give them as much to look forward to, give them something to lose. Like I'm a big component on that. Like even playing, going back to playing basketball in the school, whenever it was time basketball season, my grades was always good because I knew I wanted to be able to play basketball for the school because I had something I could lose. If I didn't have my grades right, then I couldn't play. So giving these kids as many opportunities as we can, have them something to look forward to, something to lose. And I feel like we help a lot of them by doing that.
So, with being a mentor, do you guys work with the parents as well to make sure that even once you guys are done for the day or for the week or whatnot, that training that you guys are doing out in the field that it can continue on?
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of them. Like I actually got a total of 5 kids that I was real hands on with, and just building a relationship, with their parents because it has to be a trust there. Because after school, if you want to pick them up, take them to a Pistons game or take them anywhere, your parents got to know who you are or whatever.
Mhm.
And I just try to be like a middleman in between. I'm not a parent, but I'm not your friend at the same time. Like I'm
Mhm.
like an older brother at the end of the day. So that way you feel more comfortable telling me stuff. And I keep all the stuff for the most part to myself. I don't tell their parents unless it's something that I feel like could put them in harm's way. And then I intervene and
Mhm.
say, "Yo, we got to figure this out another way. The way you're doing it is not the right way." So yeah, I
Mhm.
definitely talk to the parents and make sure. Try to my only objective is to make sure that the kid win at the end of the day. So I'm here.
That's true. Hey, when you looking at it from a kid standpoint and you just want to make sure the kid win, these kids are definitely gonna win behind you. I put everything I own on it. I know that they're gonna win with you.
Appreciate it.
So let's
Got
see. There's a lot of kids today dealing with mental illness, but don't know how to deal with it. Mm, and that is so true.
mm-hmm.
That is very true.
Yeah, that
And it's
is. Go
and
ahead.
go ahead. But
No, I was saying that's very like that's a very true statement, and it all starts like I said with that communication. Like I feel like pretty much any problem that we're dealing with, like I think a key element to fixing that problem is communicating and trust. So like building that relationship with them, not attacking the problem, not why are you struggling in school, why are you dealing with this, or why are you fighting every week in school. No, figure out who this person is, what's their name, like what type of things do they like? Find out who the person is. Don't just attack it as a headline as this kid is a bad kid. He's fighting every day. No, get to know the kid, whether it's a Ashley or a Brittany or a Devontae, whatever the child's name is. Like get to know that person, build with that person, establish trust, and I feel like a lot more than will let us in that way. It's a lot of work, but it's rewarding at the end of the day if you can
and it
just
starts with
save one
building that
person.
trust.
I didn't hear you.
I say it starts with building that trust.
Definitely.
That's like
Trust
the key
is everything.
factor. That's the key factor. So let's see. So of course, like I told you, well, before we got started, I told you I wanted to touch on. You have worked with some amazing people in the industry. Um, how did you even begin to get started with that? So just to list your resume, you've worked with Future. What was that like working with Future?
I work with a lot of those people because I created a platform called CleverVizion. And what
Mm-hmm.
CleverVision was, I told you I worked in radio. But the thing
Mm-hmm.
about like iHeart Radio here, whatever, it takes a lot of politics and a lot of luck and a lot of blessing for you to have an on-air radio show. And so I was speaking to a friend of mine, and he was saying instead of trying to get on the radio, you got a whole world wide web out here. So it's just like attack the web, and you don't have to deal with FCC so much. You can talk about whatever you want. You can book whatever guests you want. So I bought a camera. I got a LLC, and I started CleverVision, where I started interviewing people. So I would sit down, and my dream is my goal, or how I would define myself is a storyteller. So someone that likes to sit down and talk to anybody. I feel like I can talk to from the president to a prostitute and still make it entertaining, and you still learn something with whoever's sitting there. So Future was one of the people I interviewed Future early, like early in his career, like right after he wrote the song Racks on Racks. And he was a real, down to earth dude, fly dresser, real quiet, laid back dude, and was good people. So that's how I got relationship with Future, or got to work with Future.
Okay, well that's cool. That's cool. That listen, one day I'll be well. Right now, I get to say that I've got a chance to interview Clever the Great. For me,
Hey,
that's big enough. Like
well, thank you.
that's big enough.
But it's so
It
much
is.
more to
Like I said,
come.
when I first saw, because I saw you on Clubhouse, so I was excited about that.
Hmm. So yeah, from everybody in the bio, from like J Cole to Big Sean, like I came up with like Big Sean because we are from the city. I worked in radio, and he was like, "Hey, how do I get my song on the radio?" So we go way back. So yeah, it's been fortunate. Radio opened up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities to meet like a lot of amazing people. So that was a fortunate time in my life.
Okay. Well, we're almost coming to an end, and before we go, why don't you let all
Already,
of my viewers, all listen? You want to keep going? You
I'm
want to
here.
keep going? Now, yeah, we're gonna go ahead because it sounds like the thunder is getting louder, so I don't want to cut us off in midstream. But I definitely want you to come back. Um, you make me want to come out there. I've never left Texas, honestly, and I just want to travel at
Okay,
this. Definitely want to travel, but
come
I
on.
definitely want to come and visit and come check it out. See what it's all about. But let people know how they can be a part of what you're doing if they're interested, and just how to follow you and things like that.
Okay, perfect. A lot of the mentoring program, like it's been virtual and just phone calls due to COVID and all the stuff going on. But yeah, you can follow me on all social medias. On Instagram, it's Clever the Great, CLEVER, THEGREAT. Or you can hit me up on Twitter at Clever313, or Facebook, Desmond Clever Lester. So I'm here. Holla at me. I follow back. I build with. I'm down to meet whoever I can meet and build with whoever that's positive that's doing anything out here.
But y'all heard it here first. Get with Mr. Clever the Great, cause
Still
he,
bankhead
yeah,
bouncing.
like y'all make sure, and when y'all get with him, make sure y'all back head bounce as well,
Got to.
cause
Got to hit it.
you gotta hit it. This is just like off top. You meet him, be like, "Yo, what up, Clever?"
Yeah, we ain't chasing no more waterfalls out here. We just bankhead bouncing.
I'm just goofy, Lord. But thank you once again for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. Definitely want you to come back again and just come on and look. Maybe one day you can co-host with me. I'll do a segment, have you co-host with me. It'd be fun.
Hey,
See how
I'm
they
all
go.
for it. I'm all for it. And like I said, I really appreciate you for this opportunity. Great energy. I love what you're doing, and I'm honored to be on your platform as well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, you guys, we would like to thank Mr. Clever for coming through today. I thank all of y'all for tuning in, for being a part of the show. You guys came through with it today. Y'all was all in the comments, typing it up, letting us talk to you. Y'all keep that coming. Y'all already know every Monday and Thursday we are going live, and we have special guests every week. Without further ado, y'all, we have wrapped up another episode of Kelly J TV. Yo, we out here. We doing it. Oh, yeah, before we end this live, I do want to give a shout out to the people, Slick, where we at? Slick and Sin. This is their shirt, SlicNicoTwins on YouTube. This is their Stay Muted shirt. I support them wholeheartedly. Y'all make sure that y'all go get y'all Stay Muted merch as well. Be sure to support them also. And without further ado, we are out, y'all. Peace.